Hi there, I'm Chris and welcome back, and on this episode we are going to be working with some carbon fibre decals. So as you can see from this picture, I'm going to be applying some carbon to the bonnet for the S13 and the rear of the driver's racing seat. For this you don't need many tools, just a pen, some tweezers, a nice thick brush, a nice sharp blade, masking tape, very warm water, and plenty of micro set of micro sole. That'll really help. And yes, I've got a nice little holder for my micro set micro sole, because last thing you want to do is spilling it over. And that little holder is courtesy of Anthony. He is Hobby Models 83 over on Instagram. Go and drop him a follow and check out some of his other 3D printed stuff. They are pretty awesome. So to get this started, we're just going to make the masking tape template for the bonnet. I've used some very low tack masking tape. You don't need it really sticky. You just need it just to be on there, just for a little while, just to get the marker pen marks on it. And then you don't want to be struggling getting it off. You don't want to risk pulling any paint off or anything like that. So we just get it on nice and snug, getting it pushed down onto all the edges, making sure it's nice and tight, and just get the marker pen, and as you can see, just go around the edges, just marking it up. And then once you've marked it all up, you just need to take it off, cut it out. So now we've got all the template marked out, just need to remove the masking tape template away from the part. And then once that's off, I actually use some baby toenail scissors just to snip it out. They're very similar to like decal scissors. They're very thin, small, tiny, as you can see there, look. And I tend to use them as well for a lot of decal work, like the blue decal sheets that come in the boxes. Yeah, the last thing you want is some big old clumpy scissors with not much finer motor controls, if you know what I mean. So it's just nice just to use. And with these being slightly curved as well, it's good when you need to get around, curved decals and whatnot. So this particular Tamiya carbon decal sheet I'm using, it's actually the twill weave, and it's the extra fine. And I don't know if you saw it there, but there's like a pattern to it where it goes, up in a diagonal pattern as such. The graphite colour within the black carbon, and as long as you can get all your templates lined up, it makes it look so much more uniform. And much neater, instead of the pattern being here, there and everywhere. As you can see, just trimming a lot of excess. You don't want too much. I see sometimes that there's quite a lot of excess on some sheets, but I like it to be as close as possible when it comes to stretching and basically massaging it into place. And as you can see there, look, roughly the same sort of shape and size. So here we are, working on the back of this seat. I find these much more trickier, obviously because of the shapes. I mean, to get the template is very nice and easy. You just get a nice long strip of that, and as you can see, just work it on the back, work it into place. What I do as well is I get a cotton swab, cut it in half, but when I cut it at an angle, so you can use like the pointed bit to really get it into place, into the back of the edges. Just really burnish it in there, so when it comes to using the pen to make your outline, you're getting a much better template as such. So with a pen, instead of going just like directly down into it, you can kind of like do it going into the groove. You kind of get a bit of a tighter template as such. Just going around all there, and because of the shape of the seat, it's actually quite easy. Just follow it around and then just mark a pen just to get the bottom of it. So for this one, even though I was on about the curved scissors earlier, I did prefer to use a brand new fresh number 11 blade in my knife, just to cut it out. I think there was just a bit more precision with using the number 11 blade than some scissors. As small as they are, I just think it was better with a nice fresh blade. Every time I work with decals, making templates, this and that, I always use a fresh blade, because what you don't want to do is using a blunt one where it can snag and rip anything. And there's my little funky holder. Yeah, it's quite handy having that little holder, because when you've got that bottle open, the last thing you want to do is working away and knocking it over, and the solution goes everywhere, and it stinks. So yeah, it's a great little holder. Thanks very much, Anthony. I really appreciate that, mate. So I'm just absolutely lathering it in microset. This is just to help get the decal on. It'll help soften the decal and just to help basically get it into place, into shape. To start off with, I just get a bit of some warm water on my fingers, try and stretch it out in places, pulling it either side, and then just gently working away, making sure the brush is plenty of set on it. And then once I feel like I'm quite happy enough with the amount of set that's on it, and I've worked enough of it in, just use the cotton swabs now, and not as such dragging it along, but you try and roll it so you're not dragging the decal out of shape, out of position. And what you want to do is working from the centre to try and work downwards or outwards, basically towards the edges, so any excess solution underneath the decal, you're kind of like squeegeeing out basically. And it is a very time consuming job. I do see a lot of people using hair dryers to help conform the decals into shape. I will be honest, I had a very bad experience with a hairdryer one time. A couple of years ago, I was building a tank. When I used the hairdryer to kind of warm the tank tracks up. Unfortunately, I ended up melting the tank tracks and the tank, like the wheels that the tank tracks went onto. So at that point, that was it. I never used a hairdryer once again. But as you can see here, working away. It is in 4x speed, by the way, but working away and just getting as much excess fluid out, and you can really start to see it conform into the shape. And just keep going, and just taking your time and being very careful. So as you can see now, we've got towards the end of getting this decal down on the bonnet. It's a very time-consuming process. It's even at 4x speed. But you can see just there's a little pocket, a bubble of some solution and whatnot. So just gently roll that away, get that out, and get it all nice and flush. Just every now and then a little bit more warm water, just to help basically massaging it into place, contour around the shapes of the bonnet. Luckily enough, this bonnet isn't too difficult. The shape's quite nice. It's not ultimately flat, but it is a decent shape to work with, and with a little bit of time and a lot of patience, it can work out, and it works out really well. I'm pretty happy with how it's going down so far. So now we're moving on to the back of the seat, and truth be told, this is a much harder decal to apply. And not only that, I do need to be honest, this is the third decal template I've had to cut out. The first two, as and when I was removing the masking tape template from the back of the carbon, there was an issue where it pulled up just a slight bit of decal on the edges. Also, another issue with this decal I got for the back seat is down towards on the very bottom. It's just a little bit short on both sides, but to be fair, you're not going to really see that, so I'm not really worried about wasting another carbon decal. It'll be hidden by the door trims and the centre console, so at the bottom I'm not too worried. It was more the rest of it down the sides, on the back, getting it nice and flush and contoured around the edges. So there we are, we've got it all on, and you'll just see on the bottom right, just there, it's just a little bit short, but like I say, it's not going to be seen, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm pretty happy with how it's contoured around the shape of the back of the seat. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously the holes will need cutting out. There's a few little wrinkles there, but after quite a bit of work with some microsol, it all won't be there. And talking of microsol, here we are. We're using some microsol here just to get it really contoured around those edges, especially under the front lip of the bonnet, to get it right underneath and get it all tucked away so it looks nice and flush and smooth. And obviously around the back, around the curve, the back of the bonnet, and there just applying some sol on the back of the seat, and we'll just let that sit. And there we have it. After about 3, maybe 4 applications of microsol, you can see it's all contoured. For me, it's one of the best jobs I've done, I feel. It has left like patchy stains on the bonnet from where the sol has, left like I don't know if it's a residue or a mark in the carbon, but the way it looks, I'm pretty happy, and I'm pretty confident that once it's clear coated, all those little patchy marks will disappear. So, time to clear coat the carbon, and I'm actually going to try something different by using some flat clear. Not only that, it's going to be the first time using this Mr. Hobby Mr. Super Clear UV cut. I don't know what made me think of trying it, but I just wanted to try the flat over the carbon, see how it looked. Obviously the main go-to is a super high polished gloss that you tend to see on a lot of carbon work. And as you can see there, I've gone over the satin black with the flat. It doesn't look too much, but I only put a light dusting over the actual seat itself. But you'll see the difference on the back of the actual carbon itself. And as you can see there, it's super smooth, and it's only one coat, and it's gone down so nice. I'm really happy with how that's looking. And as you can see there, look, just a little bit short, but you're not going to see it on that carbon on the bottom right of the seat. And as for the bonnet, I just think, again, with only one coat of the flat Mr. Super Clear, I'm really happy with how it's looking. It's actually got rid of the patchy effect as well that was left behind by the microsol. I'm really happy with how this looks, and yeah, truth be told, it won't be the last time I'll try it. A little bit of a mock-up as such against the actual painted body. And yeah, I think it looks really nice, and as you can see there, this body is in dire need of a good wet sand and polish, Orange Peel City. So there we are, another one done and dusted. Let me know what you think of the clear flat paint over the carbon in the comments below. I do read and reply to all comments, they are very much appreciated. Thanks for watching, see you next time. Cheers, thank you.